because the first principle of quantum physics is consciousness is creating our life experience. Famous book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It says what? If you came from a rich family, the first 7 years give you programs to stay rich, even if you're stupid, okay? And the idea is if you come from a poor family, no matter how hard you try, your programming doesn't support you to get out of poverty. It's very interesting, Michael, because what you're talking about is really, if we get down to the core, is really all quantum physics. You go, oh, yeah. What the hell does quantum physics have to do with this? And the answer is very simple, because number one, it's the most valid, truthful science on this planet. There is no science that's been tested more or verified more as truthful than quantum physics. And I say, so why is it relevant? Because the first principle of quantum physics is consciousness is creating our life experience. If you change your consciousness, you change your life experience. You know, and you say, well, positive thinking, and everyone go, oh, yeah, placebo effect, positive thinking. I heal myself with what I thought was the healing pill turns out to be sugar, but I healed myself because I believed in healing. And while people talk about the positive effects of placebo, we don't really mention that negative thinking is called the nocebo effect. And it could do everything. You can die from just the thought of dying. Negative thinking is equally powerful to positive thinking, but it works in the opposite direction. Now the question is, what are we thinking? And then it comes down to a very important insight. So if I could just try and put in a little nut here and summarize it. Number one is this. A brain is like a computer. And a child's brain has an operating system working in the last trimester of pregnancy. It's already working. And I say, so what? I say, go out to the store, buy a computer, bring it home, push on, it boots up, operating system. Now I say, do something. And you go, oh, I have to put programs in, then I could do something. Well, it turns out the child's brain has got an operating system last trimester of pregnancy, and for the first 7 years of that child's life, it is a download of program. I say, where do the programs come from for a child that you have to become a member of a family, you have to be a member of a community, you have to know the rules, I mean, thousands of rules. I say, how does a child learn this? And the answer is, for the first 7 years of that child's life, the brain is in a lower vibration than consciousness. When you put wires on a person's head, EEG, it's called Theta. Theta is hypnosis. So I say, well, where does a child get programs? I say for the first 7 years of its life, it observes the mother, the father, the family, and the community and downloads their behavior. And I say, these become the fundamental programs. And I say, after age 7, an individual has an opportunity to then be creative with the program. But the problem is this, and this is the most critical thing I can tell you right now, is yes, our consciousness is creating the world, but where's your consciousness coming from? The conscious mind, which is the latest evolution with creativity, wishes, desires, the things that we want? Or is it coming from the subconscious programs that were installed before age 7? And the point is very clear. 95% of our life is coming from the program. We have wishes and desires to create happiness and joy and health and all that, but that works 5% of the day. 95% comes from the program. I go, why is it relevant? Because the programs didn't come from us. They were passed down generation to generation to generation. And then 95% of your day is that program. This is what led the Jesuits. For 400 years, they said, give me a child until it is 7, and I will show you the man. I say, what does that mean? The programming occurs in the 7 years. Give me the child so I can program it. And then 95% of the life of that child is the program. So you become the program. And we've all been programmed. Now, the issue is this. A baby is not racist. A baby is love until programs come in.
Right.
And I say, where do they get the programs from? I say, from their parents, who got it from their parents, who got it from their parents. It's passed down for generations and generations. People think it's like genetic because it runs in family. I go, no, it's programming that runs in family. And I say, why? And here's the problem for most people. We only are using the creative wishes and desires of peace, love, all the things that we are talking about. The average person, 5% of the day. 95% comes from the program. And we don't see the program. I say, why not? Because why are we playing 95% from the program? And the answer is because when the conscious mind is thinking, it's not looking out, it's looking in. And therefore, if I'm driving the car and I have a thought, all of a sudden I'm not looking out the window anymore, but I'm still driving the car. I go, don't worry, you got subconscious that's got a program. Drive the car. You can drive the car without paying attention, no problem. But the issue is this. We do not see our programs when we play them. I said, what do you mean? I said, story for 30 years, same story in lecture. I'm going to look for a new one, but I haven't found it yet. You know your friend's behavior very well, and you know your friend's parent. And one day you see your friend has the same behavior as their parent. So you want to tell your friend, you go, hey, Bill, you're just like your dad. And I say, back away from Bill. He's going to go ballistic. How can you compare me to my dad? And this is the most profound story for this moment, and that is this. Everyone else can see that Bill behaves like his dad. The only one who doesn't see it is Bill. I go, well, how come? Because he's not paying attention when the program is playing 95% of the day. And 70% of the programs that we acquire are disempowering, self-sabotaging, and limiting beliefs. And I say, where did that come from? It was not genetics. It's actually the antithesis of biology, because biology is not competition, biology is cooperation. And we have been misprogramming children from generation to generation. A baby is not a racist until it is programmed to be a racist. And then when it's programmed to be a racist, does it mean it's going out every day saying, let's be a racist? I say, no, 95% of every day is just automatically playing the damn program. And it's interesting because I'm not a very religious person, but what are Jesus' last words? Well, here's why they're so relevant. Last words was, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. And I say the problem out there in the world is we've been passing on racism, religious hatred, and everything in fear, and therefore we can blame somebody for something and not be responsible. And then I go, but the people who are doing it, they're not even conscious. They're playing programs. And this is where we have to wake up and start to recognize we are creating this world. And as Michael said, the evolution is not the evolution of our body, it's the evolution of our creativity. famous book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It says what? If you came from a rich family, the first 7 years give you programs to stay rich, even if you're stupid, okay? And the idea is if you come from a poor family, no matter how hard you try, your programming doesn't support you to get out of poverty. And I go, my God, all of our issues are from children who have been programmed and manifesting these in their older life right now without even knowing what the hell they're doing. It's a wake-up call. This is a time of program change.